So now we're going to look at how to get Hootsuite to send your messages out in advance. Kimberly and I did a little segment a little while ago about how to track the links of all your social media efforts. For those of you that are really gearing up for some promotion, whether it is you've got a big sale going on or you want to schedule out some tweets or some status updates across your social networks, maybe let's say for a week in advance. Best practice with that I would recommend is go ahead, schedule them, but schedule it when you would normally be checking Twitter. If somebody replies and they feel that you're automating everything and you're not there to respond to them, they might feel it's a little disingenuous. However, if you schedule some of those updates to go out during times that you would normally be happening on Twitter, that takes the pressure off of you to have to think of what to say because your messages are already done. That doesn't mean that you should just stop updating everywhere. It just means that your absolute essential updates you've got already planned out. And so Kimberly and I are going to help you today get through that part of the process. So we're looking right now at Kimberly's screen and we've got some things ready for you. Kimberly, if you could put your mouse cursor in that compose message box at the top of Hootsuite. Let's start with that. And then the calendar option right there in the middle at the bottom.
Okay.
This is how to schedule a message. When Kimberly's hovering over that, we could see how to schedule a message. So go ahead, click on that. And you see that we can either type a message in, and we have the options like we saw in our Hootsuite video before, how to schedule messages out, and you can manually do it one by one. Now what we're looking at doing though is scheduling for a week at a time. So we want to click on that schedule in bulk at the bottom there. Yep. And so now we get to upload what's called a CSV file. Basically, CSV file, it stands for comma separated value. And what that means, if you're familiar with, for instance, Microsoft Word or even Pages on a Mac, you can save something backwards from a Word document into just a plain old text file. The same thing is true with spreadsheet software like Excel. If you need to save it in a really dummied down version, it's called a CSV file. They have a sample at the bottom here, and without clicking on it, can you just point out where that is, Kimberly, where it says sample? Right, so if you were to click on that, you could download the sample, and that sample is going to have things basically laid out as a format for you to follow, and you just change the information. What we are going to do, though, is before I have Kimberly upload this, I had a little problem with that sample file. Kimberly, can you put your mouse over where it says format and then it says dd/mm/YYY? Yeah. So this area at the beginning, we want to highlight and copy and paste that dd/mm. This is the date format, date/month/year/hour/minutes, the mm. That little area, I've already copied and pasted to my computer. And what I'm going to do is show you how I fixed their sample file just a little bit so that it actually worked. So Kimberly, if you could kick off your screen sharing on your end, and I'll send you mine. Thanks. And let me share mine to you. And we'll start that. And I'm opening up Excel. So Kimberly, let me know when you could see my screen. All right. So like I said, I had copied this date, month, year format. I'm using Excel on a Mac, although it will work the same way if you're on a Windows computer for this part. To fix this, we want to highlight column A. We'll right-click on it and go to Format Cells. Format Cells is just formatting all of the options that are listed here. And in this area, we want to do a custom format. So we're just going to skip right down to where it says Custom. And what we could do is erase where it says General and type in this information. Just type in, paste in the information that we just copied from before. And once we click OK, our cells will now be formatted like you see that I have them laid out here. So this is using the British style, I believe, although correct me if I'm wrong, where it puts the day and then the month and then the year. American style will put month, day, year. We're going day, month, year, hour, and this is in military or 24-hour time, meaning if you're sending something out at 4 o'clock, that is going to be 1600. So we're using that style of a format, and in column A, that is all your time. in column B, based on the format that they've given us, is the status updates that you're sending. And then if you want a link would show up over in column C. And so you see I have my link. The link that I am using is in fact done with, I've done the Google Analytics long format, and then I moved that into a Google short link, and then into my Hootsuite, because my Hootsuite also tracks some other interesting statistics. So just know that this is a short link that I'm driving people to, because Twitter is going to be short. Remember, if this is going to Twitter, we want 140 characters, and that's it. So I'm going to hand the screen back over to Kimberly. Kimberly's got her file done and ready to go. All right. So here we see Kimberly's spreadsheet here. And so what we want to do is go over to, make sure, Kimberly, that you hit save on this. Just Control or Command S and then save. And if you get this little warning that says, hey, this is a CSV file, are you sure you want to keep the format? Say yes, that's fine.
And also the 140 characters includes column B and C, correct?
Correct, yes. Your link needs to be within that same amount.
Okay.
And then go ahead into Hootsuite.
Back to Hootsuite. Okay.
So we want to browse for that file. So I'll let you browse to where you saved it on your computer. And that uploads it right to this area. And now you choose where you want this to go. So the first round that Kimberly wrote was for the Go For Your Dream Twitter account. Kimberly and I discovered right when we were trying to upload that it wasn't going to accept it because of the way the dates were laid out, even though we used their hour and month and year and all of that set correctly. So you'll see what we're looking at here is that it is saying 02/08/ and then the year. Now if you look in the bar at the top, you'll see that it's formatted to basically how an American would write out, because Kimberly's computer's registered in America, how an American would write out today's date and time. But as you scroll further down, you see that in the actual A column, it looks like it's more in the international format for how dates would be written. So we just had to go in and reverse where our day and month is listed. And then the last thing that we want to do is that, Kimberly, if you could bump just that first row like half an hour ahead, because it doesn't want something that's less than 10 minutes from now being uploaded. So just switch it to like 3:35 or something. That should be fine. Yeah, just put a 3 in there, and then
let me change that one to like 4:10 so that it's not, you know,
sure,
right, bam on top of each other. Okay.
And then save it. Again, either Command or Control S, depending if you're a Mac or PC. And then go back over to Hootsuite and let's try this again. Once you get the initial spreadsheet done, it will be golden. Alright, so we want to click on this Schedule in Bulk at the bottom. Yeah, schedule the message, schedule in bulk. Browse for our file, get the spreadsheet, open it. And we're going to set it oh, wait, here, let's say, so we want to go from the Go For Your Dream Twitter account. Even though you have multiple accounts, maybe you have a Facebook and a LinkedIn and other things connected, you can choose to schedule it for whichever account that you want. So we want to go from the Go For Your Dream Twitter account, and so now we will click to submit that. And now we only have one problem to fix, which is great. It says that that text is too long. So
Gotcha.
what we know to do, and that's good to show. Here's what an error looks like. It says you've got one post that just happens to be too long. So that was on line 15, it tells us. And so we go back over to line 15. And we change that one just a bit. And again, this is because this is going to Twitter, where we've got only 140 characters as the limit.
Save it.
Yep. Save again, and then we try to upload one more time.
Hit Schedule in Bulk. Upload the file. Make sure I've got the right account selected. Submit. And I can see it's working up here, so you don't need to keep hitting submit because I see it's connecting.
Correct, correct. And what you can also do then too is that if you wanted, You know, with Facebook and LinkedIn, you don't necessarily want as many updates going out as what you do with Twitter. So what you could do then is erase a couple of those rows, consolidate them a little bit, and upload a similar version of that same exact file that goes to just your LinkedIn. So you could choose a different account to post from, or a different one that goes from just your Facebook status, your personal, or you could send it out from a fan page. Just remember that if you use something that goes to multiple places, that you account for that. So now we will see, and it looks like it's closer to being done because now we have a green spinning circle. You've successfully scheduled your messages. So let's see where that shows up. Go ahead, X this window out, and then go to the Go for Your Dream Twitter tab. Kimberly and I are maintaining a Twitter account jointly, and we'll do a different video on that later. And so what we want to do is add in one stream that says, show me all the pending tweets. So Kimberly, can you click on that Add Stream just under the Go for Your Dream Twitter tab on the left?
Just so you know, I do have one.
Oh, you do? Okay, excellent. Let's show where we do that, and then we'll show. Okay. Can we delete it and add it back so we show them how to do that?
Sure.
Yeah. So to delete any of these columns, you click on the drop-down triangle and click Delete Stream, and it goes away. And then we want to add a stream, and you want to select. First off, on the left-hand side, which kind of account is it? And so we're adding in a Twitter account, and we'll see that Kimberly has two profiles there. We want her Go for Your Dream account. And then under the type of stream, we want pending tweets. And so then we'll click Create Stream, and that will show us all the scheduled tweets that we have coming up. And so there we would see what times they're supposed to show up. You could go in and delete them if you've uploaded and now you said, oh, I want to get rid of that. You can shuffle this around as Kimberly's doing by just dragging and dropping. And you could resize the width of those columns. In the top right corner, there is a little scaling tool that slides from left to right on the top right corner that lets you shrink your column widths. So that's how to move
on up here.
Yeah, right there. Stream view. You could say, I want to see more or less columns all at once.
Gotcha.
And so now you can see when your pending tweets are supposed to go out, who created them. If you're sharing an account jointly, it will tell you who made them and who uploaded that. It tells you what times they're supposed to go and the dates. And so now Kimberly has all the promotional tweets that she needs to do under her own Twitter account done for the next 3 days. That's handy. So use this sparingly. Know that when you use it, you want to look as though it's as if you should be there ready to reply, but now at least you take the pressure off yourself to have to think about what to say.